Hello everyone and welcome back to Freedom Through Confidence, and in this video today we're going to be talking about how to know if you have low self-esteem. Now this is going to be the first in a 5-video series over the course of the next week where we are going to be specifically talking on the theme of self-esteem. So what it is and how to get rid of low self-esteem. So let's jump into this first video, which is all about how to know if you have low self-esteem. Okay, so the very first thing is that you say sorry all the time and you feel guilty about things for which you have either little or no control or little or no responsibility over. Now, at least in the UK where I live, it's very common to just apologise for everything all the time. But did you know that that might actually be a sign for low self-esteem? You see, it's all very well and good to say sorry when you bump into somebody in the street, or if you knock over someone's drink or something like that. That's a okay time for you to apologize. But when you start to feel the need to apologize and say sorry for things that just aren't your fault in any way, but for some reason you feel responsible, you feel guilty, then that could be a sign of low self-esteem. Now, I first noticed that I had this problem when I was extremely young, and I just started to take on this guilt and this responsibility for everything that was going on, even if I had absolutely nothing to do with it. If you are feeling in a similar way, then that could be a sign of low self-esteem. Now, the next thing, number 2, is social withdrawal. At the peak of my low self-esteem, I had little or no motivation to go and make an effort socially at all. I would stay in my room as much as possible. I wouldn't even go out and see my flatmates. I would just stay in my room. I'd go out when I thought it was quiet to go and get some food and then bring that straight back. I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to meet anyone. I didn't want to engage in any kind of social because my self-esteem was so low that I just couldn't handle that kind of social pressure. So I just kept myself to myself and didn't really make an effort in any kind of way when it came to my social life. And so if you've been finding yourself recently withdrawing from your social life and just trying to keep yourself to yourself, almost afraid to go out and speak to anyone for whatever reason, then that could be a sign that you have low self-esteem. Now, the third thing, and this one is a little bit less common, but again, it's something that I noticed in myself, is you might be having an inability to take genuine compliments. So you do something great at work and somebody says, you know what, well done, you did an amazing job. And you just try to downplay your success, or you chalk it all up to luck or something like that. And you might be saying to yourself that it's just your humility, but humility would be actually accepting the compliment and recognizing that you've done the good work. Downplaying the hard work that you put into something or the level of skill and talent that it took for you to achieve some kind of outcome is not humility, and what it is in fact is a sign of low self-esteem. I found it difficult for so long to take genuine compliments. I would just brush it away, or I would point out all the mistakes that I did make, or I would try to downplay the work that I did, or as I said earlier, chalk it all up to luck. It wasn't me, it was just good fortune that I managed to get X, Y, and Z done. So if you are experiencing the same thing where you feel uncomfortable taking on compliments, even though you know you've done good work and you just try to brush them all aside, again, that could be another sign of low self-esteem. The fourth one is probably one that is a lot more common, and that is feeling like you don't deserve good things in your life. If you are on the more extreme end of this, like how I was, it might not just be that you don't feel like you deserve good things in life. It might actually be that you feel like you deserve to be punished for whatever reason, even if it is just for something minor that you did a very, very long time ago. And this is where low self-esteem can start to get into dangerous territory. Now, let me be clear, everyone deserves to have good things happen to them. And if you feel like you don't deserve that, or you feel like you deserve to be punished for whatever reason, then it's likely that you're starting to fall into a spiral of low self-esteem, and at the very, very extreme end, that can be quite dangerous. And I would encourage you that if you are feeling in this way, that you go and speak to someone about it. It doesn't have to be a counselor or a therapist. It can just be a friend or someone that you trust with what's going on in your life. But I would encourage you, if you are starting to fall towards the more extreme end of not feeling like you deserve anything good in your life and almost feeling like you deserve to be punished, then I would highly encourage you to go and speak with someone. I did, and it genuinely made all the difference to building up my self-esteem and starting to understand what was going on in my life. Now, number 5, on the opposite end of not being able to take a genuine compliment, might be an inability to take criticism. And when people criticize you, even when it's good, constructive criticism, you might feel attacked, as if they are not appreciating what you have been doing or how hard you've worked, and you feel like it's just personal and that they're doing it just because they don't like you. And this feeling of being attacked, again, is a very good indicator that you might be suffering from low self-esteem. This might even come sandwiched in with compliments, as you might be aware one of the ways that people think is, a good way to give criticism is to give a compliment and then some criticism and then compliment. And what might happen is that you might completely disregard the compliments entirely and focus and completely fixate on that one bit of criticism, even if those 2 compliments were about how great you are and the amazing work you've done. That one bit of criticism, even if it was something as simple as make sure you make better eye contact during presentations or something like that, you might fixate on that and feel like you're being personally attacked. And it likely isn't the case. It's more likely that that could be because of low self-esteem. Number 6, again, is a very common one, and that is having an extremely loud inner critic, where no matter what you do, you have this inner voice that is constantly criticizing you and riding you down and just trying to grind you into the dirt, telling you that you are worthless and that you're no good at anything and that nobody likes you and nobody will ever love you, and things like that. Very, very unhelpful, critical things where even if you make a minor mistake, your mind blows up, and maybe it's causing you sleepless nights and anxiety-filled mornings where you just can't stop thinking about all these tiny mistakes that you made and how this inner critic just blows it all out of proportion. Like I said, this is a very, very common sign that you might be suffering from low self-esteem. And again, this is one of the ones where if it goes to a more extreme end, can become even quite dangerous to you. So again, if you feel like your inner critic is starting to get out of control, I would highly encourage you to go and speak with someone and try and get as much help as you can. There is absolutely no shame in going to someone and asking for help, especially when you need it. And the final sign is hiding your true self because you don't feel like anyone would accept you. If you feel like if you were to express your talents or to express what you're truly passionate about or just share your genuine thoughts and feelings, that you're going to be shut down, you're going to be berated, you're going to be laughed at, you're going to be embarrassed, whatever it is, if that is the way that you feel about expressing your true self, then that is a definite sign of low self-esteem. As I've spoken about before, authentically sharing yourself with the world and who you are and what you want from your life and what you are becoming and what you want to do is a huge part of confident self-expression. And if you are constantly hiding yourself, then you're not going to be able to share yourself in the way that you want with more confidence. So if you feel like you are constantly having to hide yourself for fear of criticism or for fear of embarrassment or for any reason, that is a definite sign of low self-esteem. And that takes me to the end of my 7 signs that you might be suffering from low self-esteem and how to know if you might have it. Again, this is not a diagnosis. I am not a psychologist or a therapist or a counselor. I would encourage you, if you are suffering from these kinds of signs of low self-esteem, that you do go and speak to someone about it. If you have found this video useful, make sure to leave a like on it. Let me know your thoughts and questions in the comment section down below. And of course, make sure that you are subscribed to Freedom Through Confidence. Over the course of the rest of this week, I'm going to be releasing more videos on how to deal with low self-esteem. So make sure you are subscribed for more videos like that. If you are starting from zero confidence and you just want to know how to get started right away to start doubling, tripling, 5xing or even 10xing your confidence, make sure to click the first link down in the description. That's going to take you to a 100% free course all about how to create your most confident self. So that is the first link down in the description. Or if you want to accelerate that process through confidence coaching, head a little bit further down and click on the Work With Me link, and we can set up a discovery call where we're going to find out if confidence coaching is the right investment for you at this time. But otherwise, thank you very much for making it all the way to the end of this video, and I look forward to seeing you in future videos here on this channel very soon.